All right, we are officially recording. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. So Mac and I just kind of wanted to host this call. This was kind of a spontaneous thing, but we've been going into the new year and just the momentum is so high, the energy is so high. So we just really wanted to continue that. I'm gonna just mute everybody except for Mac.
I'm gonna mute people. Yeah.
Yes. And we'll leave like time for questions and whatever. But yes, so we just wanted to kick things off because we want to talk all things Emerald. So I am going to share my screen with you. All right, can everybody see that?
Yep, it's beautiful.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Emerald, this is like this kind of lingo that you might hear us throwing around a lot, but basically being an Emerald coach is the very first rank in your business. It's the first promotion that you can give yourself in this business. If you think about like how you start coaching, like you're kind of, think of it like a car. And if you're on this team and you've been on a couple of our calls, you know that we love like metaphors and analogies and all the good stuff. So you're a coach. Your key is in the ignition of the car. Your car is on, it's running, but you're not moving yet. You're like open for business. When you hit Emerald, think about your foot pressing down on the gas pedal. You're actually rolling. You're actually getting momentum with your business. And we're going to really dive into tonight, like what that looks like, why you have momentum in your business from hitting Emerald. And really, Emerald is a decision. And I say that because it truly is. Like we say that you can hit Emerald in 24 hours. Mackenzie hit it in her first week in this business. I've seen girls just hit it so fast once you understand what going Emerald truly, truly means. So with that, I'm going to kick it off, Mac, unless you have anything else.
No, kick it off.
All right. So hitting Emerald is you plus 2. So you see the bright, shiny you, that's you as a coach, and then you have a right leg and you have a left leg. And if you've been diving into your coach office a little bit, you kind of know your right leg and your left leg. And as you start to get coaches under you, they get placed automatically, right leg, left leg. So to become an Emerald coach, you need 2 coaches underneath you, right leg, left leg. That's it, you plus 2. Now you're probably thinking, holy crap, like I don't know anybody who wants to coach. Like I just started this, like it's okay. We have kind of tricks of the trade and tips and how you can achieve Emerald without necessarily having working coaches, which obviously is the ultimate goal, but getting to Emerald is a lot easier than it seems. One reason why like Emerald was so huge to me, and then like Diamond and then Star Diamond that I'm now working towards, is because like being a teacher, like I can't give myself a promotion in my job. But with this job, like I know what it takes to give myself a promotion. And like promotion, you usually think more money, like yes, more money. And we will get into how you earn more money being an Emerald coach. So if you're kind of like me or Mackenzie and you're in this job, like where you're just in the job, like you can work as hard as you want, but you are never really going to change. Like this is so freaking awesome because you can promote yourself with 2 people underneath you. Good, Mac?
Yeah. So one thing I want to know about this, you guys, you'll probably see the active coach in the PV. So what active coach means is that they have 50 personal volume. That's what PV stands for. So if you are on Shakeology, so when you sign up, it automatically means that you're active. So that sets you up for that home direct of Shakeology. You can be a home direct of like other things that Beachbody has to offer, like the performance line, beach bars, all those things. But you have to be active. And the coaches that underneath you, those 2, the one on your left, on the right, they have to be active as well. So again, don't worry too much about this. If you're on home directs, you're already active. But if you are going to qualify on Thursday, you need to make sure that the people beneath you are active as well. Otherwise, you can't just have 2 coaches underneath you that aren't active and go Emerald. They have to be active. So just pay attention to that, because as you start to grow your business, you guys, the active status of things will play a huge role in your ranks. So just get familiar right now with what it means to be active, and be constantly looking at your active legs when you do actually start recruiting these coaches onto your team. So I just want to add that in there.
Perfect.
Cool.
So when you hit Emerald, and we're going to go over the benefits before we kind of talk about how, or I almost feel like, Mac, do you want to talk about like how you strategize to Emerald before we dive into this, or do you want to do it at the end?
Yeah, we can try to address into it. Do you want me to just go into it, or do you want to go into it?
Yeah, so I'll tell you kind of how I became Emerald. So I became Emerald by signing up John as a coach underneath me, my husband. So what I did is sign him up with a $40 coaching enrollment fee. I did not sign him up with a challenge pack. We don't need 2 subscriptions of BOD in this household. So $40 and you can become a coach. So I have John underneath me on my right leg. So then I have to keep him active, like Mackenzie just said, with a 50 PV. So I have the Shakeology on my account, and then we order the performance line on his. So we order the Recover and the Energize on his account to keep his account active. He drinks it, I drink it. So like it works out in our household that like we're buying all this stuff. But as you start to think like, oh, like maybe my sister, I could sign her up for the $40 fee and I want the Energize and the beach bars. And you have that as your home direct on your sister's account or your mom's account underneath you. Like you can sign up somebody without a full challenge pack to be a coach. So boom, right there, I had John as an active coach on my right leg. Then on my left leg, what I did was the next client that I checked out, my next customer that I checked out, I offered them, and I call it the Premier membership. So I have a script that I just copy and paste, and I'll say, okay, final question. You have 2 choices when you're checking out. You can either check out as a regular client and you'll get everything, or you can sign up for the Premier membership. It's the exact same price today. They're both $160, but in the future, you get a 25% discount. It is a $15 monthly fee, but blah, blah, blah. And I list out all the benefits of the discount if they want to order anything in the future. And right now, I'm making sure to say you'll also get included in Shaun T's exclusive test group that goes along with the program that you're going to be starting. So the last like 2 or 3 women that I've just checked out, they've enrolled with the Premier membership, which is a coach. They are a coach underneath me. They are an active coach. So boom, right there. And so like I honestly, and I can take screenshots and post it in the thread. One girl said, I'm looking at this. It says that I'm going to become a coach. I'm like, exact same thing as a Premier membership, but don't worry, you do not have to do any of the coaching things like I do. And just leave it simple as that. I'm gonna unmute you, Beth.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And yeah, so I agree with that. And if you guys are worried to give the coach discount, don't be. It's because it's like you don't know down the road after they complete a boot camp, like they'll already set up, ready to go, or it could turn into a potential coach on your team.
Yeah.
And so I always just let them know because I had the same thing. People are like, wait, do I have to be a coach? Do I have to work the business? But I'm always like, no. But down the road, you just never know. So I don't completely shut that door of like, oh, it's fine. You're never going to be a coach. But down the road, I was like, no, it's all good, girl. But down the road, if you ever decide to, that's an option for you because you're already set up, ready to go.
Bethany, did you have a question? Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on, Bethany. Wait. Okay, you're unmuted.
Unmuted. Okay. So my question is that I have friends who are, thinking about it, but they don't want to be signed up for Home Direct. So they're like, I'll try Shakeology because it comes with the pack, but I don't know if I want to have it every month. And that would be keeping them active. So is there another way to get them active without saying you have to sign up?
They just need 50 PV in some form every month to stay active. So realistically, Bethany, what ends up happening is I will sign them up and they might skip a month and they might fall inactive. If that happens, if my legs are not like continuously building, I may drop my rank. It happens more often than you think. But if you're constantly checking people out and you're like right leg, left leg, because you can choose which legs they go on when you check them out and keeping them balanced, that when somebody falls inactive, as long as you have another active person right there, you won't even feel it. Does that make sense? So it's okay if they skip a month because it happens. But yeah.
I think you need to mute someone.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Good, thank you.
Okay. And Mac, how did you go Emerald?
Yeah, and then I think that I don't know if she was asking if it's just Shakeology or if it's like she can be active with something else too. Like I said, if she wants to use like the beach bars or Energize performance line, she can be active that way. It doesn't just need to be Shakeology. But then so for me, you guys, when I went to Emerald, I went Emerald my first week, and that's because one, my best friend, I was like, hey girl, like I basically told her I'm a coach. I just did this thing, like it's really cool, and I was actually like, I know, of course, excited about it. So I was like, do this with me, like. be a coach with me. So she ended up being a coach with me. So I got my first like working coach right off the bat. And then I signed up my family friends, like my family friends, like my sister. And I said, hey, just sign up with this coach discount because why not? And I said, you get 25% off. It's so chill, you guys. It's so just like, we don't hype it up. It's so casual. And then she just like, yeah, sure. And so right off the bat, I helped 2 people. And then I went Emerald that following Thursday, because we always will rank advance. Our cycles are on Thursday. So if you go Emerald like on a Tuesday, if you get 2 people sign up underneath you, you'll go active that Thursday. But that's it. It was so simple, so easy to do. And it was just like, and the way to keep that active, like Emerald status, and if you just keep setting girls up. So obviously the goal here is not just having discounts that's beneath you. Obviously it's important to have, like you always will have discount coaches in your business. But the whole goal here is to have active working coaches. But every single month, if you're offering that discount, you will always stay Emerald if you are hitting Success Club and people are saying yes to that option. Or of course, as you grow, you guys, if you are running sneak peeks and you're actually recruiting coaches, you'll have working coaches underneath you. So it's super easy to maintain once you start getting in your flow. But that's kind of how I did it.
And always know that when we say discount coaches, they're being a coach just for the discount.
Yeah.
That's what, like, the Premier membership is how I make it sound fancier when I'm talking to them. But like when we're all like bouncing it around, we say like discount coach. And when Mackenzie said like running your own sneak peeks, you may be very new in here, and your upline, like I know I have a sneak peek scheduled for like a week and a half out from now. You can always recruit to my sneak peek. 100%. You can always do that. You can always do it to another, coach on the team if you're still getting your feet wet. Don't feel like you can't start talking to people about the coaching opportunity because you're new. Like say like, let's do this together and just dive right in together. All right, I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the benefits of hitting Emerald. So we've kind of already touched upon this. It's like the first rank. It brings momentum. You get this big shout out. You obviously know that our team loves to shout the heck out of people. We've been doing it constantly. It's one of our favorite things. But like I said, like you get that feeling of like, wait, I did this. I gave myself a promotion. This is freaking badass. And it's just really, really cool. And then you're like, okay, this wasn't so hard. Like Mackenzie said, like it's so chill. It's so easy. And you're just like, okay, let's get this ball rolling. So that's like basically the first big benefit. You'll get like this thing sent to you in the mail from Beachbody. You get like a little plaque, like John just got one when he hit Emerald. He's like, ooh, look, I'm an Emerald coach. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But then the other thing is you're not just working for commission anymore. You now start to earn that residual income and your cycle bonuses start. So Mackenzie, do you want to take it over from there to kind of explain what that looks like?
Yeah. So you guys, when you first start your business, when you're a coach, you're strictly living off of commissions, and for moving forward in your business, you will be too. Like it's cool. Like earning commissions is awesome. Like if you are good at what you're doing, you're sharing your journey and you're helping people get started, you can earn a lot of commissions. But what happens is when you start rank advancing in your business, you start tapping into team cycle bonuses. And when your team beneath you is also crushing it, because the cool thing about this business, you guys, is that we can't be successful without each other, right? So when your team starts seeing success and you're helping them down the road, right? What happens is that you get these team cycle bonuses every time you have. I don't want to go too deep into this, but basically, like Janine said, you have 2 legs, and there's this thing called volume. There's volume underneath you, and then you start to build volume on your legs, and then when it's a certain amount, so it's like 200 on your strong leg, I think it's 100 on your left leg, if I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm. Your weak leg, yeah.
And then what happens is it's called a cycle, and then you earn, I think for Emerald, I think it's what, $12?
14 for Diamond, right?
It's 12. It's 12 for Emerald, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
14 for Diamond, yeah.
For every time you cycle, you get just a $12 cycle. So I know it sounds small, but what happens is over time that volume grows like crazy, and then when you rank advance, you also that $12 goes up to like 14 to 18. You start cycling so much that all of a sudden it's all this like free residual income. So I want to paint that picture for you. So you see these top coaches and people who are earning a full-time income with this is because they have a very strong team beneath them. They've helped their leaders develop the leaders, and then they've helped their leaders develop the leaders, and they're having this huge success in their business, and then they're constantly cycling. Okay, so I knew Danielle was on here. Yeah, 14 for Emerald. But yeah, so if you can really paint that picture, it's pretty insane the amount of money that people can earn just from being a certain rank and helping your team grow. And, you know, hopefully this is clicking for you guys. I know that it's kind of like, whew, for new,
There's a,
it can be like
yeah,
a lot.
there's a
What?
ton in the back office. There's a ton
Yeah.
on YouTube about cycle bonuses. I believe Michael Neiman has like some trainings within the office. Like as you start to attend more conferences, like you'll know his name, you'll know everything. So just know that the more you get going in this business and those top coaches in the company, their cycle bonuses from all of their team, and this starts with Emerald. Like these cycle bonuses start with Emerald. Their check is mostly cycle bonuses and a little commission. Like it ends up overpowering that so much. So just think like, again, this is putting that foot on the gas pedal to really start that cycle. So then as you keep growing as a leader, that team cycle bonus keeps getting bigger and more and cycling more and more and more.
Yeah. It's like this says, you guys, it's taking your business from retail to residual one. It's going from commissions to actually just earning residual income. So if you're not familiar with residual income, think of it as like this. If you own a place, right, like an apartment or condo that's paid off, and then you rent it out and you're getting that monthly paycheck just for people living in it, and not doing anything, that's kind of essentially the same thing. That's what residual income is. So if you're wondering what that is, that's where it's the best kind of income. Like it's money that you worked really hard for and now it's kind of paying you, and it gives you that freedom from all these beautiful things that this business does. But that is residual income, and it really does, like you said, it starts at Emerald, and you can only start to achieve these things if you stay in order and go from Emerald and then continue to grow your business from there.
Yeah, and then like the last like big benefit of hitting Emerald, besides like, I mean, the money part is like really in that team cycle bonus, the residual income is really like the big takeaway. But the really cool thing is that because you're actually being a leader and you're actually doing your job, Beachbody recognizes that. And they're like, okay, like she's actually being a coach. So we're going to reward her with free customer leads. So it's so funny because Beachbody like really started like high on like infomercials, and they're still on infomercials. My mom called me today to talk to me about Pio because she was up with her puppy late at night and saw a Pio infomercial. But basically, if somebody goes online and types in beachbody.com, sign me up with a membership, they are automatically assigned a coach, and Beachbody gives it to Emerald coaches. Like, so you get free customer leads just from people going online. And as you hit Success Club every month, your customer leads will increase and your commission will increase.
Yeah.
Over, Matt.
So, okay. So I'm looking at 3 right now. If you guys are looking with me where it says Successful is 5, you earn over 100 customers given to you in a year, right? And then you'll see Success of 10, and it says you'll earn over 100 free customers. And then you'll also earn commissions that come up to around $4,000 a year. So this is basically saying if you are, hitting Success Club like you should be, you're going to get those free leads. But the commissions and that all that comes in on future orders, right? So yes, they are your customer, and the benefit is you can reach out to that customer, you can build a relationship. I'll have Janine share a little story on that in a minute. But what that is basically, it's locking you in for future customers. If you're hitting Success Club 10, which is our goal on our team every single month, that's what mine is, that's my bare minimum. You're earning those free leads, but you're also earning commissions right away from that first order. So obviously, if you're helping more people, Beachbody is going to reward you more. So why not go for 10 and earn those free leads, which is future orders, and then as well as if you go for 10, you guys get the future orders, and then you get commissions right now. So the benefit here is obviously you can't get any of this if you're not Emerald. So
and I had no idea. I had no idea that I could earn commission off of my free leads because I made Success Club 10 a non-negotiable a few months back, and all of a sudden my commissions were higher, and I was like, I knew how many challenge packs I was selling, and I was like, this isn't really adding up. And then it clicked with me. I'm like, oh, well, I'm hitting Success Club 10, so I'm earning the commissions off of orders that are coming in. So it's a really, really cool thing. And then my coach, Andrea, I don't know if she's on this call right now, but she's like, I'm Emerald. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I just checked my office. I have a free lead. Like, you don't get alerted. You have to actually like fish through your coach office. She's like, what do I do? And so I like kind of walked her through like an email that she could send to her. So she sent her free customer an email just saying like, hey, I'm your coach. This woman is now within our boot camps, and she has now ordered Energize, Recover, beach bars, and she is absolutely loving it. She checks in with Andrea now one-on-one, and Andrea wouldn't have gotten this customer now who's now ordering over and over and over again from her if she wouldn't have checked her office, if she wouldn't have, reached out to her, and if she wouldn't have hit Emerald. So really, really powerful. Okay, moving on.
I want to read what Danielle said quickly. Danielle, if you guys
Yeah, I
see the
can't
comment,
see.
Danielle said, she said it makes $300 and $400 a month now from free customer commission that continues to build and build as we continue to hit Success Club 10 and at least hold an Emerald ranks. Basically, that $300 to $400 from just being a rank and actually making sure that she's doing her job every month by hitting Success Club. So it goes hand in hand, but it just goes to show if you're doing what you're meant to be doing anyways, why not earn some free money from it, right?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
So I think that is a perfect lead into the next slide. Yep. Okay. So as you guys can see, if you're looking at this right now, this is kind of a graphic, you guys, kind of showing. So this is a life example of another coach, and it's giving the examples of all of her free leads, and basically at the end, it's showing the commission. So if you look at the first half, it's Success Club 5, which is her customer leads. So it says commission. This is commissions on future orders. Remember, so if you're hitting 5, Success Club 5, you're getting that free lead, but the commission comes from future orders. And then for Success Club 10, you guys, if helping 5 people, you'll see that she still gets those free leads, but now she gets also those commissions from that order on their first date. So this all equals up between all of the free leads that she's earned, a total of $357.40 just in free leads from being Emerald and from hitting Success Club. Which is just, think about that, how crazy that is, like just to be a certain rank, hold it, and to earn that money. So I mean, it makes no sense not to be Emerald, because what happens is if you're not, you're just losing money. You're losing out on free money that could have been yours had you just been Emerald. Can they see that very well? I hope you guys can see the visual. If not, we'll have the slides up on the team page.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like how cool is that? You literally earn just free residual income for being Emerald, and that's just 2 active coaches beneath you. And I know this may sound like this is almost like too good to be true in my opinion. I'm like, well, damn, all I gotta do is like sign up 2 people and I'm earning all this free stuff. But it's true. Like Beachbody is a really amazing company that just rewards you for putting in the hard work and doing what we're supposed to be doing as coaches, and that's impacting as many lives as possible with our, with our challenge pack, with our tools that we have. So, Janine, anything else you want to add on that?
No, that's perfect. I just moved on to the next slide, and this is just a super brief overview of like signing up your spouse. And when I say spouse, it doesn't have to be your spouse. It's that I want you to think of it as a controlled account. So like your mom, your sister, your aunt, your boyfriend, whatever it is, signing them up. So in your first month, like you may not see, a whole hell of a lot for signing them up as a coach. Now remember, you don't have to do a full challenge pack with this controlled account. It's just at $40 to sign them up, and then keeping them active every single month. But if you look 2 years down the road, because you have that controlled account placed strategically high up on one of your legs, and I know this is kind of going far out into it, but now that can cycle, and that controlled account can start to earn money. And I'm going to use Danielle as an example. She messaged Mackenzie and I today and said that Brad's account, her spouse account, made, what did she say, $1,300, $1,500 last year.
Yeah, just for literally doing nothing besides being in a golden egg position is what we call it. We're just being signed up as one of the first coaches underneath and her downline. So it's crazy. Yeah.
You want to say anything else about this slide? Sorry, I kind of took over. I know you were supposed to.
No, I'm seeing some questions. I think about some questions about like legs and spouses. Let's answer those before we move on to the next thing. Okay, so question just said, when you sign up the controlled account and sign people up under them, have you ever had anyone question why their account doesn't show you as a coach? Yes. Like, Janine, I'm sure you have a perfect example of this, and I know Danielle does too. She basically just says, hey, girl, just so you know. Yeah, go ahead. You say this.
Yeah, no, just so you know, your coach is going to say that it's John, but don't worry, your coach is actually me. That's just my husband's account, but I control it. There's something like super easy breezy. I'll have to look back at like what I said for the last one, but like I don't make it weird at all, and nobody ever like bats an eye at it.
Yeah. And the thing is too, you guys, and you literally can say, it doesn't matter, I'm still your coach. Like I'm still your coach no matter what. I'm just, it's my business, and it's my control, my husband's account. So it's all good. They won't really care, honestly. And yeah, Danielle made a good point. You always want to put your controlled account on your weak leg. and coming back. I know this may be like a lot for you guys right now, but we're setting you up for success now. Okay. So what she means by putting your controlled account on your weak leg is that, again, we have volume. So right now in your office, in your business, you have a strong leg, and if you go in and you look, you'll see the strong leg is the leg with the more volume points. So what your whole goal is to balance out these legs so that coming back to those team cycles, you're consistently cycling. Think of it as rollover minutes, right? Like you don't want all these extra volume points just rolling over and that you're just losing free money that could be yours. So that's the whole point, is to have a controlled account on your weak leg so that you can build that one, so that in turn makes that weak leg strong. So then you have
I will play devil's advocate, because I put John underneath my right leg when I didn't really have a strong versus a weak leg, like way back when I signed him up. And now my right leg is so strong that I kick myself all the time that he's on like my strongest leg. But I mean, what can you do? So strategically, when you're ready to do it, like reach out to your upline. Like we can like look at where it makes sense to do it like right now.
And I want to know, that's just for your controlled account. But Janine, just so you know, you did have a strong leg when you signed up, and it was your right. So that's why it's important to just make sure you reach out to your upline so that you can make it help you. Yeah. But we're not talking about discount coaches. We're just talking about a controlled account, like our spouses on this slide. So, but it is important, and it's why not, if you're going to be a CEO and grow a business, you should know these things, and why not just reach out to your coach and be thinking about these things as you're growing your business. So
I love that. Perfect. Okay, so little homework assignment for you guys tonight. Who are your two, or how are you going to hit Emerald, and give yourself a deadline, which it's Sunday. Your deadline should probably be Thursday so that we can celebrate all of you guys on Thursday. Now, if it were me, I would be thinking, okay, who is this controlled account that I'm going to sign up? What's this $40 fee, and how am I going to keep it active? Boom, that's my one coach. Then it's okay, who am I so close to getting to check out? Seal the deal this week and sign them up with a premier membership. That would be my mindset right away.
Thanks.
But for your homework assignment, what I want you to do is I want you to write it down or message it to your upline for who your two are, and then give yourself a deadline, which your deadline should be this Thursday.
Yeah. Because as you guys know, every Thursday we cycle. So we love Thursdays around this part, because every Thursday we have some sort of rank advancement, and it's really fun to celebrate. Those are really big days. So it'd be really fun to kind of see who's going to be our next shiny little emerald on Thursday. But before moving on to the next thing, you guys, we want to open up to Q&A, and then we're going to chat a little bit about inviting. So I know this goes hand in hand with going emerald and growing your business, and then a little bit about mindset, just quickly. So is there any questions before we move on about any emerald things, anything at all that you have lingering around?
Bethany's raising her hand, so I'm unmuting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I'm in class with my teacher. So I just signed somebody up, and I know that she is probably going to get Energize every month. And she's trying the shakes and said, if I like them, I'd be willing to buy them every month. But she's not signed up as a premier person. Is that changeable?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So if you have the app downloaded, BB Links, and I can send a screenshot, but there are forms in that app. And so it is, and I just have to look to like see the name of it, but there's a form that you're going to send her to change her account from customer to coach. But then it's going to want to charge her that $40 coaching fee. There's then a second form to send her so that she can get that $40 fee waived. Thank you. So she won't get charged because she already bought a challenge pack. And when you buy a challenge pack, your coaching fee is waived.
That is awesome, because I just did the math, and if she is buying shakes and Energize, then she's going to save $10 and $30. So she's going to save $40, pay $15 to save $40, right?
Yeah, yep, so, exactly.
Totally. It's a no-brainer. And like if you are someone that's going to be moving forward with Shakeology, and the whole point of our boot camps, you guys, is to give our customers that experience where they do want to continue on. If they're they should be drinking Shakeology every single day, and they should be wanting to renew it. And not everyone's going to do it, but as coaches, we should be giving them that experience for at least maybe Energize or Shakeology or the Beach Bars. If they decide to move forward, why not get 25% off for just no reason at all? So
as you grow your clients too, like what I'll do is I won't do this. I should probably do it more often than I do right now. But I go into my office and I'm like, oh, I see they keep ordering Shakeology and they're not a coach. So then I'm just like, okay, you're paying 130 plus, like for the shakes. If you had the discount, it would cost you $99 plus the 15. You're still saving, at least $15. Like, why not get the discount?
Yep. Danielle, I love that you're in the background, like being our like commentary. It's really, I love it.
Yeah. So Danielle just posted the link, but if you ever like need to switch somebody from customer to coach, like we can walk you through that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Any other questions about Emerald before we move on? Okay. Perfect.
Cool. All right.
All right, so many of you are newer coaches on here, and we just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about inviting and just getting through all of that, because we know that that's where all of you guys are right now. And I mean, we all invite like crazy. Like before I watch my next Netflix episode, I just fired off 40 invites. Like I marked my boxes and I did 40 right away. So you should be thinking, okay, what's my goal? How many do I want to do every single day or on the weekends or not? And then it's like, okay, well, what do my invites look like right now? And as a newer coach, your invites are going to be to your warm market. And when we say warm market, that's like friends of friends, friends who you know. I'm sure that you've heard us all say this. And so Mackenzie and I were like, okay, well, what should they be saying to their warm market? So we were just talking before this call and kind of came up with a script. Do you have it, Mac? Or Wait,
yeah,
no,
I have it. I just want to, before we give them the script, you guys, I want to emphasize on cold versus lukewarm versus warm. You never, ever want to send out a cold invite. If, for example, if you've ever been on your Instagram and someone has messaged you like, hey girl, you're so cute, I feel like you'd be so good at what I do, and they give you this whole spiel on how some girl in their company is making $5,000 a month and all of these crazy things, like block, like delete, decline, and block. I do it all the time. You wouldn't, that's so gross. That's so icky. You don't want to do that. We don't want to have someone do that to us. So I never want you guys ever inviting to a cold market. It is your job to build a lukewarm and warm audience. For me and my business now, I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm inviting 100% to my lukewarm audience. When I was a brand new coach, it was my warm audience. And your warm audience, again, is your friends, your family, people you know. But I'm going to tell you now, I didn't have the kind of training that you guys have. And when I was brand new, I sent out cold invites. And I'm telling you that it never worked. Not one worked. So I'm telling you now, don't do it. Save yourself the time and energy and that mental, like, oh my gosh, I suck at this. People aren't responding. Just focus on your warm market and invite people that trust you and know you, because the only way to make a sale is if someone actually trusts you. And I really want that just to be emphasized, because I don't want you guys ever feel uncomfortable when you're sending your invites out. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you have that connection first. So
my first 2 clients were John's friends' girlfriends. And they were just like, I saw you're doing the new fitness thing. It was like in February. They're like, I need a new routine. Sign me up. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and I didn't reach out to them. And I wish that I would have reached out to more of like that warm market first, just saying like, dude, like, let's just do this together. It's going to be so much fun. Like, let's figure it out as we go. And it doesn't need to be weird. Like, they're your friends. Talk to them like that. Like, it's so casual. I'm going to drop this in the chat right now.
Okay. Okay. That's the script. Got it.
Yeah.
So do you want me to cover the script and kind of talk about it a little bit? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So the script, you guys, is just like an idea for you. Like, if this doesn't sound like you, don't feel the need to use it. It's just a kind of an idea of our point here we're trying to make is that when you're a brand new coach, and we're saying you're an audience, you're just trying to link arms with your best friends. Like, talk to these people like you live your life like it's your real best friend. I would never invite my friends with some weird ass invite. It would just be like Janine said, let's do this together.
I typically, I don't know where you went, but I typically will voice message like my friends and say like, hey, like, this is exactly what it is. And like, I'm never worried about word vomiting. Like, I still do it because I still have people who are now like, I'm like, okay, like, do this with me, even 2 years into it. And so I voice message them a lot just because like they know me.
Yeah. So here's the whole idea, okay? So just read it off. Read it off because you have it in front of you. Read what. Like,
so you would say like, hey Mac, I've been meaning to message you. I'm not sure that if you, I'm not sure if you've been following along or not. but I just started a 6-week fitness and nutrition routine with a bunch of other women in our virtual gym. I thought that I would extend the invite. We just started prep week this week, so we're all checking into a private group with our workouts, cheering each other on, and have this super tight-knit community built. Does that sound like something that you would want to do with me?
Totally.
It's not weird. It's something that I would actually say to like a friend.
In real life.
If it was like if it was my best friend, I would totally just voice message them. I would probably send this to like friends of friends, like people who just like know me very casually. And then when Mackenzie was saying like her lukewarm market, and I know that's what I've been telling a lot of like my coaches, it's who's liking your posts, it's who's watching your stories. Like they're building this relationship with you in a virtual and a social sense, like via social media. So if they've been watching you, they've been following you, they've been liking you, you can invite them in a totally casual way. And I know that we've given you guys tons of scripts for this. So don't be afraid to just get in the zone and like fire things off. And just like today, I was just like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I was not worrying about any responses that came in. I was just flying it. And of course I had to tweak some like as I was going. But don't feel like you have to just like respond to every single message that comes back right away. Like get in that CEO mindset, focus in on your invite session. And then when you're done with your invites for the day, then go back and respond to everybody else. Does that does that kind of help? Okay. And Danielle just wrote, and I know I preach this, Google Keep. If you have not heard of Google Keep, if you're not using Google Keep, get on Google Keep.
Yeah.
The sticky notes, you can save all these scripts. I keep it open on my desktop when I'm working. I keep it open on my phone when I'm working, and just copy and paste so you can save all of these scripts in just really, really easy place.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Mac?
No, I think that we should just kind of close it out with a little bit of mindset. But before we
Does anybody have questions on inviting? Or feeling like you're stuck with some of your wording? Anything like don't be afraid. Like we've all been there, and I still am like, how does this sound? I'll still say that. Like it's okay. All right, Shay, I'm unmuting you.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. I was just wondering, I have like one girl who has been like super wishy-washy. Like she wants to do it, but then she doesn't, but then she wants to. So I've been like trying to find a balance in like reaching out to her, but not being like annoying about it because I don't want to like overwhelm her. So I guess I'm just more asking for like, what would your advice be on like handling someone who's kind of like that?
Yeah.
I personally, I would wait a couple days. And then I would say like, especially right now, since you know that we're kicking off on Monday, like maybe give it until like Wednesday, reach out and say, hey, we're all kickstarting our program on Monday. I'd love to get you set up. Are you still interested, or would you like me to put you on my list for next month?
Okay.
And so then put the ball in her court.
I want to give you my advice too. So first off, when you're talking to this girl, do you know this girl? Is she like your best friend? Is she someone you just know on social media? How do you know this girl?
She's someone who I went to school with. We did a teaching credential with. Yeah.
So you guys like know each other. The conversation, how did it start? Like, did you ask her about her goals? Like, did you get to know what she needed? How did the whole conversation start to flow?
I actually don't even remember who started the conversation.
Yeah.
It might have been me, but then I think she like commented on one of my posts and was like, oh my God, you're killing it. And then I think maybe like I messaged her and then was talking to her about it. And then we were talking on Instagram, and then we like FaceTimed each other and talked about it more. He was like, I really want to do it. And like, I've gained a bunch of weight since teaching, but I just don't know if I have the space, and like I would need to go get a gym membership. And I was like, okay, like you can totally like make the space, it's fine. And she was like, okay, yeah, like I really want to do it, but I'll let you know.
Yeah. So and the thing is you're always gonna get that. You're always gonna get people who are like, they're always talking up, like they're so interested, and they just like literally don't sign up, and it may take them months. But what I would suggest is like the conversation. For the most of the time, if a girl's not signing up, we haven't figured out exactly what it is that her pain point is yet. Like what does she need to actually like need to hear and understand the value that we have in order to say, okay, yes, I actually need this. And for me, it's always come to find that I have to make sure that I am figuring out this girl's goals. Like, what does she actually want? What is she dealing with? Like, what is she struggling with? And then in return, I can offer her these tools. And at this point, it's like, if I know what she wants and I'm giving her all these tools, it's up to her to make the decision whether or not she actually wants to like act upon it and go after it. But you will get people who, will ghost you like that. And like Janine said, all you can do is obviously don't be annoying. Like, don't message her over and over and over again, because that's annoying. No one wants, you know what I mean? Give it that space, give it that time. But yeah, just do something what Janine said is just make sure that you say, hey girl, if not now, let's try out a later date. I always give them that space and that respect, because that to them is it's better. Like, think about it. Would you want that a girl to do it to you if a girl was constantly like pushing you to join, or she was like, hey girl, I have one spot left, get me off this week, just thinking about you, like how to get you added in. She doesn't respond. You say, hey girl, okay, I haven't heard from you. Do you want to chat about a later date? That always works so well. And I think that I always get a response back to that one. If they've been ghosting me, there was like, yeah, girl, a later date. And I just respect that, but it's our job to always constantly to remember to follow up. But I think that as brand new coaches, we get so like, we're so excited to earn Success Club and to find our first people that we're just like, please sign up. Like, just like sign up, right? But we can't do that. And all we can do
is and I love
people.
Yeah, no, I love what you're saying, Mac. And Shay, it kind of sounds like you guys have talked enough where you probably know like what she would like to do, if she'd like to tone up, if she'd like to lose weight. And so what I would do is I would combine it. So I would create this sense of urgency, like, hey, like I know that you were saying that you really don't want to get a gym membership, or that gym memberships are too expensive, but you're really hoping to tone up this year. We only have 2 spots left and we kick off on Monday. Create that sense of urgency, blend them together. If not, would you want me to reach out to you next month when our next group kicks off? And then just put the ball back in her court. I honestly, it drove me nuts. It happens so often. And a woman reached out to me today that I could probably go back. I've probably been talking to her for over a year, and she was constantly wishy-washy. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. And then a couple months later, I'm back in. And she was just like, no better time than the new year. And I'm like, oh my God, is she really going to check out this time? Like, I can't even.
Oh yeah.
It happened.
It's happened to me so many times. I had to go check out with me like 2 weeks ago. I was talking to her for a year, and she would give me so many excuses. And all I would do is kind of like, okay, girl, I understand. But I would kind of like battle it with her for a minute, not battle it, but she's like, I give her the reasons why, what she's saying basically doesn't make sense. And then I say, but if next month works better, let's chat then. And you just have to respect that, like I was saying, but don't feel like you just need to she needs to sign up right now. But just keep her on your board, like keep her on your tracking system, so that in, 2 weeks or a month, for your next one, she can be your girl. Just go out there and look for more. That's my advice. Like, don't ever just get set on like 3 people, go talk to 10. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the chat. So then Marissa asked a question for people who don't respond like at all to invites. Like if I just sent them like an invite, kind of like a lukewarm invite, I haven't talked to them before, and they don't respond, I personally will wait probably a couple months before I send out a different kind of invite, if they're still watching me and if they're still liking my stuff. If after that initial invite, they don't like interact or engage with me anymore, then I'm probably not going to try them again. Mac, totally. Do you feel the same?
I agree. I think that if you invite a girl and she unfollows you, fine. Like, that's okay. It happens all the time. But if you have a girl who you invited and you go to Instagram stories and she's still watching them, she's definitely interested, you guys. She's still like watching you and she's wanting to see what you do. It's just not her season. And we just really have to respect that. But not everyone is in the season of wanting to get fit and healthy. It does take a certain amount of like being fed up on your own personal life. But if we just respect them where they're at, it just makes us look so much more credible as coaches. And down the road, it just builds stronger relationships. So yeah, I will, like Janine said, if I invite them and they ghost me and I think they're still watching my stuff, I'll give it probably like 1 or 2 months before I actually invite them again. And if they ghost me again, I'll give it another 2 months. I'll keep inviting them forever until they end up blocking me, or they just say, actually, I'm not interested. Like, it's all good. But don't be annoying. If they're not following you anymore and they unfollow you, or they're not watching your stuff, don't keep.
They're not your people. Yeah, they're not your people. I'm gonna unmute Sydney. You wrote that you had a question. We may have already answered it, but you are unmuted.
Okay, so I guess like my question is, I'm like still in college, so I'm like a junior in college, and most of my followers are also in that age range, and I know like money is like a little tight. Yeah. So like a lot of my friends, like right now I don't have a job. My parents, I'm kind of just going off of like my parents and stuff I've saved up. So like this is even like a little hard for me, but I'm making it work. And like most of my friends or like the people that are following me have jobs but they have jobs so that they can pay for school, not so that they can pay for like this kind of extra stuff. I just don't know how to make it appealing and how to so they're not scared off by all the money, like, oh, there's like you have to pay this here and this here and this here. So I guess that's like my concern with inviting people.
So when it comes to talking about price,
I go ahead, Janine.
No, I was just gonna say I always try to make it fun. I make it relatable. I break it down to like what it is like per month, and I'll copy and paste and put it in here like exactly like what I say. You know, and if they're worried about money and if they kind of present that up front, I never offer the Premier membership where they have to pay like the $15 a month. I don't even go there. I don't even go with like, do you want any add-ons? I don't go there. I like read my client. I read my customer. If they have money objections right away, I don't even do the add-ons. I just focus on the challenge pack and I break it down for them. If they say like, oh my gosh, that's way too much, I even go like a step further and say like, man, like when I was thinking about this, it was so tough. But then I thought like I could stop going to Starbucks a couple times a month and really save up a ton of money for this because it's investing in myself, and kind of put it in a perspective that they're like, oh, well, okay. And Mac, I'll find my script and let you kind of say what you would think.
And we have there's this video that we can, Jenny can share with you too. It's called being a objection ninja. And one of the biggest objections you're always going to get forever and always is going to be money. I totally get the college student thing, and you will get, I think the biggest objection you'll ever get with a college student is going to be money. It's not necessarily time or that they, whatever, it's always going to be money. And I think that what Janine said, don't offer all these add-ons. It just makes no sense. I totally agree. I wouldn't. And everyone, I'm going to give, if you know this, we all know this, everyone could save money in certain spots. Everyone could stop spending a little bit of money on eating out, on going to Starbucks or booze, like college kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, I always will respect where someone's at, but I also will just be like, you know, like what Janine said, like kind of just talk to them and be like, I totally get a girl, like I relate to them. Like if you're in college, like I totally get that broke girl life. Like it's, you know, but, and then maybe you can explain to them exactly what the value you need to.
I don't know which one, but you need to understand like the value of everything that you're getting to them, present it to them.
Did I go away?
You you disappeared. That's okay. I was
saying that, like, help them understand the value. If they're gonna get a gym membership, like it's gonna cost probably the same thing, and I'm not gonna get nearly as much. So if you kind of break it down up front, it seems like a lot, but we really break it down and help them understand. I look at college girls all the time. Half of them will sign up, half of them won't. It's like some girls are willing to make that sacrifice and not spend their money elsewhere, and some just aren't. It's just the way it goes. But I always make sure that I really just pump up the value and help them understand the value, because there's so much value in it. And if they understand the value, then of course they're way more inclined to say yes, even if they're broke. So
Bethany, your question, have you ever had people ask for the info, you get to send an email stage, and then they ghost you? Do you mean like you've sent them like a share cart?
I've sent them like, so you know, you're in your app in Instagram and you say, oh, I'm doing this boot camp. It's 6 weeks long. Do you want all the info? So that you don't like totally overwhelm them. And they say, yeah, here's my email. So I send them all the info and the package and pricing. And then I have like, you know, those questions like, do you want a vegan shake? What flavor do you want? I have like a Google form for that. And I want them to fill out the Google form, and they won't answer it. They won't fill out the form. And then I'll check back in with them like 1, 2, 3 days later on Instagram, and they won't answer that either.
So personally, what I think is you're presenting them with too much information at once, and you're taking them off the platform that you got them, which was Instagram. So I would try keeping it on Instagram and going to that 3-step process that I've told you about, how I break it up, and just talk a blurb about fitness, ask them a question. My go-to question is, have you ever tried a video-based workout before? Then you can kind of talk to them about it and then go into nutrition. But I keep it all on Instagram. I don't take it off. I don't even start talking about their shake flavor, their package options, or anything until they're like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. I need in. But like Mackenzie and I were just talking, this 3-step like explanation system, it's just like this really clear cut, simple like funnel just to like get them in. And it really doesn't take a lot of time. But like I found, and I know Mackenzie can attest to this, like people have tried like sending like YouTube videos to explain it, but it seems like the second that you take them off of their platform that you found them on Instagram, your rate of losing them increases. In my experience.
Yeah. I'm curious, what is this Google form you're talking about? So you'll send them the info all in one email, and then you'll have them do a Google form for Shakeology flavors. Like, what was that?
So I made my own, and it made me think of the one that I filled out to become a coach. And it just says like name, email, and it asks them, do you want vegan or whey? What flavor do you want? Do you want to buy a Beachbody Step? Because I have it specifically for Transform 20 for the boot camp. And then like, what are you most excited about, and what are you most afraid of?
Yeah. Or Janine, how did you learn? Is that what?
No, I only send like all about you things to my coaches, like to get to know them. So I only send that to my coaches so that I get to know like you guys all on a personal level. For my clients, once they check out, I send them a welcome email with that PDF that I just posted that came from Mackenzie. It's like a 4-page PDF booklet. I send them a link to a step if they haven't gotten it from me, and I can share this email with you. And then I also link like the portion containers because Transform 20 doesn't come with that. And then I try to set up like a little quick getting to know you call with them, but I never have them like fill out a form or fill out a form like about them or anything like that. The spot that I do have the form though is in my bio, that link, if they're applying like on their own, like, you know, like my little link tree in my bio. Yeah.
Okay, my advice, I want to talk about this real quickly because it sounds like you have all the right pieces. We just need to puzzle them correctly. So like Janine said, what I suggest is I'm someone that goes back and forth between email and Instagram. Right now, it's working best just to stay on Instagram. I agree. Your whole goal here is to understand what their goals are. Here's like the flow, okay? So you want to understand what their conversation, you want to understand what their goals are, what they're looking for. And then when you feel like you understand what they want and you guys have this connection built, that's when you can say, okay, girl, you know, for example, based on what you've told me, I feel like you'd be an absolute perfect fit for our boot camp and you would love the workouts, you love the nutrition. Do you mind if I send you over some details? And then always they say yes. And that's where you can break it down, like Janine said, into 3 parts. So, you know, we have the scripts, you can find them, but breaking it down like that in bite-sized pieces and not all at once and kind of chatting through as you send the things, it's easier for them to understand the value and they're not just like skipping over everything and then looking at price. What happens is when we send a whole big email with the price and all the things, all they see is the price and they just shut up and they ignore everything else. They have to understand the value first in order to want to actually make the purchase. So what I do again is like I break it down and then I send, okay, here's part 1. And then she will respond back to me like, oh, that sounds awesome. I love it. And I'm like, yeah, girl, it's so great. And kind of again, like hype it up why I love it. And then I say, okay, girl, I'm gonna send you over part 2 now. And I'll send her part 2. And then once I'm done breaking those down, the information, that's when I, you know, say, hey girl, I'm gonna send you over everything that's included, what to expect from me as your coach and the boot camp, and then here's the price. And I'll send it over. And then that's when they make the decision whether or not they do or they don't. A lot of the times, because that funnel works so great, they'll say yes. And again, if you want actual live screenshots of what's happening, if you go into our team page and you look in the photo albums, I just uploaded a whole bunch of my exact funnel that I'm using like right now, and you would see.
Yeah, and our team page has that too in the file section. I'm also looking to tag you in something too.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing with coaches, and not just you. This is totally normal. Coaches do this all the time, where they just like will send all the information at once. And I've done it, and I know firsthand as a branding coach, it doesn't work. People just will ghost you. Even if you do what I do, and you break it down with like the 4 parts or whatever, sometimes you still get ghosted, and that's okay. Like some people just aren't ready to commit yet. They don't see the value yet. And down the road, they will be my future clients. It's just the way it always works. Some people are ready to go right that moment, but don't feel discouraged if they ghost you. It could just be that they're not ready yet. Maybe they're going to be ready next month, the month after. But I do recommend kind of breaking down that info into smaller bite-sized pieces and keeping it over on Insta. So
I just tagged you in something on our team page too. That kind of walks you through that.
That helps? Do you like that?
Oh. Bethany, did that help?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Marissa, how do you make it appealing to people who are already paying for a gym membership or who don't want to also have to pay for a gym membership since they're already paying for BOD? So if they already have a gym membership, typically when I present it to them, I make it sound like, oh my gosh, we have so many girls that stream these from the gym. And I just say that, like, you can totally take these to the gym with you. So that's something that I always say. And then a lot of the times, like if they have like an Orange Theory membership or like some sort of a class membership, I'm always like, ooh, like that's probably a high like monthly payment, isn't it? And then I start poking at like the money pain point for that.
Yeah. Or if they love that, some people just love it and they don't care. They love it so much that they'll pay for it. I just say you can do a combination of both. You can do maybe fall have a program, and then we can create your own hybrid calendar where on this day you're following this day in the program, and then on Tuesday you're doing your spin class or whatever, and then Wednesday is your rest day. And then we'll kind of build it together. But typically, I mean, the thing is, if a girl is reaching out to you who already has a gym membership, obviously she's not getting the results that she wants in the gym. Something is lacking. Maybe she's going to the gym and she's just running on the treadmill and she's like, I'm not getting the results that I want. Like, and that's why she's talking to you. If you reach out to a girl who already has a gym membership and she's like, oh, I'm good, I already have it, and you were the one to reach out, it can be a little bit trickier to try to want to like persuade someone to go to the gym because they may love their routine. But typically if someone reaches out to you and they have a gym membership, it's because they're not seeing the results that they want. And they're coming to you for a reason. And most of the time they don't care. I have so many girls that like, I have gym membership. Oh, this is perfect. I can take my workouts to the gym. So.
And a lot of the times I'll hit like the pain point too of like, I'll try to relate it back to like how I felt when I used to go to the gym. And this may not be how you felt at all, but like when I would go to the gym, I used to feel like I had no idea what I was doing. I'd walk in, do a little bit of cardio, do a little bit of weights, walk out and say, like, did I even accomplish anything? And that was totally me. And that's part of like my story. So whenever I'm talking to somebody, they're like, I have a gym membership. And I always ask them, do you feel like you're seeing the results that you want to see going to your gym? And then I'll say, oh my gosh, that was totally me. And then I like relate back to them and kind of go back and forth off of that. And then I present them with everything. All right. If there are no more questions, I know we've kind of been on here for like an hour. We can just kind of end this with a little bit of fire up, a little bit of mindset, and send you on your way.
Yeah.
Kick it off, Mac, or you?
I'll kick it off. So I want you guys, I know this went like from Emerald into major inviting, and they all correspond, right? Like we have to be inviting in order to be growing our business, and if we're growing our business, we're achieving these ranks. But I don't want you guys to take all this information and be almost like paralyzed. Just think of it as something that you're so excited about. I want you guys to just remember that your focus right now is you. Like you are your focus. You showing up on social media, you getting familiar with that, you getting results with the program. Because I'm telling you right now, if you just be proof yourself and you fill your cup and then you share that, it's so much easier to impact other lives. When I first started as a brand new coach, you guys, I was committed as hell to my program. It was 21 Day Fix Extreme. I stuck to it, got results, and shared it. And I signed up like 4 people. But that's just because I was like, you know what? I'm focusing on me. I'm not going to worry about all these little things right now. I'm going to focus on sharing my journey, getting results so that I can, in return, pay that forward. So if you're thinking of like all these scripts, all these things, just know that this is a skill that you will learn with time, and it takes time to learn this. And, you know, the cool thing about this business is that it's month after month. So each month you can get better and better at it. But your first couple of months will be kind of weird. You're going to be figuring out your flow and what sounds good to you, what doesn't sound good to you, and working through that. But just remember that you are your focus. Share that journey. Like fall in love with the programs, because it's so easy to share and invite from the heart when you actually do have that belief yourself, and you have, you know, you've seen your life transform through that. So I wanted to kind of end it with that. For me personally, Janine, I know that you probably have some things that you want to share too, but I just want you guys to remember that you are your business, you are your focus. Fill that cup up so that you can actually share that with other people.
And just keep in mind, like, you are your only limits. And I know that that sounds cheesy, but truly, if you believe that you can only sign 3 people a month, and that's probably what you're going to do. If you believe that you are this boss who's just going to recruit like crazy and share this gift with the world, then you're probably going to hit higher numbers. Like, your belief becomes your truth. And just because you're new, or just because, you know, you've hit this rough patch and you're coming back, whatever your story is, like, wash all of that out, start fresh, and just dream bigger sooner. Dream bigger right now. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can. I know that I'm like this rah-rah cheerleader right now, but I truly, truly believe this. And don't strive for greatness. Strive to be so great and to just take it one day at a time. Be the best you that you can. Show up for yourself and then just spread it like wildfire, because this business has the opportunity to change everything. I promise you. And that's my little cheerleader. Yay.
Yeah.
Rah, rah.
No, I love it because it's so true, you guys. And it's like they all connect. It starts with just like, I totally believe with Janine said, have that belief. And if you believe in law of attraction, all those things, you do attract into your life what you think about and the person that you are. So if you want to be this rock star coach who's crushing it, who's changing lives, who's building a business, you have to show up and be that coach right now so that you can attract those things into your life. But hopefully this call helps. We are so excited for all of you guys. And I know this is a big time for a lot of you guys in your business. You're brand new and it's just really exciting times. And you guys are part of an incredible team. And we, as your leaders, your mentors, we are here to help you every single step of the way. Because we only want the best for you. We only want success for you. Because again, we are not successful either if we're not in this together, because we are a team. And I'm just really excited for all of you. And then that's all I got.
I'm going to take a boom. So if you're not showing your face and you want to be on it, like Homa and Britt and Dee, if you want to show your face, now would be the time.
Are they hiding from us?
They're hiding. They've been hiding this whole time. There they are.
Wait, let me see. I haven't seen any faces. Where do you guys come from?
Look at them. Hi. Danielle drinking her wine. All right, guys. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. We'll talk to you guys soon.